Welcome to Madlit Musings, the podcast where you get to eavesdrop on your favorite authors without getting caught. I've been stoked to have authors like Angela Hunt, Bill Myers, Nicole Deese, Tessa Afshar, comedian Bob Smiley, and more on the show, and this year I have another great lineup of storytellers and truth-sayers. If you love to eavesdrop at coffee shops like I do, this is the podcast for you. It's where we get real, we get tough, we laugh, and we might even cry. It's where we meet authors on a different level, where every story and podcast episode has its own heartbeat. So hang out with me today. I'm Jaime Jo Wright, your host at Madlit Musings. This is your podcast for real chats with real authors about real life. Today's episode was brought to you by Baker Publishing Group, with Revell and Bethany House Publishing as divisions. We're super excited to be sponsored by Baker Publishing Group and to bring you their fabulous authors and their fabulous lineup for 2025. Be sure to check them out at bakerpublishinggroup.com and also check out their online bookstore at bakerbookhouse.com. Hi, everyone. It is Jaime Jo Wright here, and I'm excited today because I have somebody new with us in the studio. Actually, we're not in a studio, but we'll pretend. But I have Dana Mentink with me. Hey, Dana.
Hey, glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I think this might be the first time you and I have ever actually talked.
I think so. We kind of pass in certain groups, but I don't think we've ever actually talked.
Right. So here we are to talk. And I love this format because I tell all the readers, it's like picture yourself in a coffee shop and you see two authors that you like their books and you really want to know what they're talking about. This is your chance to eavesdrop.
Perfect.
Because it's totally unscripted, right? It's totally unscripted. And the cool thing is you're a suspense author. I'm a suspense author. So there'll probably be conversations about death today.
Well, fictional death, though.
Fictional death. Yes. Yes. Unaliving fictional characters.
Sad. Sad but necessary.
Right. It's necessary for fiction, not real life. Okay. Anyway, that was a morbid way to open.
Well.
But yeah. So Dana, you've been writing for quite a while. You write for Harlequin, Love Inspires Suspense. Mm-hmm. And the book that we're talking about today, which we'll get to in a little bit, is your first book from Bethany House Publishers. But tell us a little bit about your past as an author, how many books you have, and something, maybe weird about you that nobody else knows.
Oh boy, there's so many weird things no one else knows.
I kind of figured that was a safe question to ask.
Well, I've been writing for a long time, 25 years or so. Written 50 books for Harlequin's Love Inspired.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of books in the drawer that never got seen the light of day, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So been writing a long time. I started a mystery, sidestep to suspense. I still write mystery too because that's my baby. I love mystery. Weird thing about me, I actually wanted to be a circus clown.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked up how to apply to circus college. I never followed through on that, but it gives you probably an idea about the mental workings of this author.
I love it though, because I come from the Ringling Brothers' hometown in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And so everything in my life is circus. And my aunt was a clown at the circus.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so I know all about clown college. And a lot of the clowns from New York City will come to my hometown for our big circus parade in the summer. And so we have all these, the town, if you're afraid of clowns, it will either cure your fear because they're really nice, or you'll never want to come to our town again. So it's just kind of that way.
Now, who would know that there was that connection?
I know. Yeah. But who knew that you wanted see? And I bet a lot of readers don't know that there actually is clown college.
Yes.
Yeah.
With an application and everything. Yeah. Serious business.
It is. So forgive me if I didn't hear it because I stopped listening when you said you wanted to be a clown because I got really excited. Did you actually apply or did you change your trajectory or what happened then?
I just thought, I think I better look for something more stable.
So you went into writing. Okay.
Right? No, actually, it's the home of the unstable, so I don't know what. No, right. I was a teacher for years and years and years, so
okay.
That paid the bills. But
those
now
pesky
I just
bills.
write full time, right? I gave up and teaching, may I say, is very similar to circus clown work.
Oh, I
Not
believe
to
it.
diminish the role of a teacher,
No.
but you do have to be very entertaining
Yeah.
to get children to listen to you.
What age group were you teaching?
Elementary school.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So, you
perfect.
got to wrap yourself in Christmas lights and set yourself on fire for some of those lessons. But,
Yeah.
it
But they
does
learned.
not ever
They
hurt.
learned.
Sorry?
And you had a whole series of successful graduations from high school after they left your class. So you could say that they
Well,
learned.
I
Yes.
hope they did, bless their little hearts. We had some fun times, I'm telling you.
Oh, I bet. I bet. I'm
Probably
sure you were an extremely entertaining teacher.
one tries one's best,
Yes.
It's just long division. There's only so many ways to make that interesting. So there you
Oh, I hated long division.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie, it's nasty.
I secretly agree
Why?
with you, though I cannot use that as the official party line as a teacher, but
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. My kids would come home with homework, and I'll be like, of course we homeschool now, but when they were going to school, they come home and they'd be like, Mom, when am I ever gonna use this? And I'm like, honey, you won't ever, but you still have to do it.
right, it's a hoop. Let's just get
I
through it and move on.
know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you didn't come on here to talk about mathematics, although we have
Okay.
learned about clowns, which is
Mhm,
super cool.
mhm.
What transferred you from teaching into writing, or did you start writing while you were a teacher?
Simultaneously, yeah. I started
Okay.
writing, actually published my first book while I was on hiatus with the babies,
Yep.
when the babies were little. So that's when I got serious about publishing. When it shifted into a job share as a teacher, so I'd still have 2 days a week home to work
Mm-hmm.
writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the virus that not shall not be
No.
named,
Mm-mm. No.
I decided, you know what, I'm going to try this thing full time. And there it is.
It's going.
Yeah.
It's working.
hmm
Okay, so I've been browsing your internet, and you have mystery, suspense, and lighthearted contemporary. Lighthearted contemporary kind of speaks for itself, but what is the difference between mystery and suspense? I get asked that often, and I
I
think
do
you'd be a good one
too.
to answer
I do
that.
too. It's subtle, so it's hard to know. But okay, so the point of a mystery is you're solving a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And the audience has the clues, and the whole fun part of it is putting together the puzzle to solve it. And yes, there can be life risks, great risks, and all that, but it's basically an intellectual puzzle to solve.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas suspense, you're trying to stay alive. Someone
I
is
think that's
actively
the
trying to
best.
kill you,
That's
right?
the best definition right there.
Right. And it's a pacing thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Mystery can be a little slower, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
gentler, and suspense is a very straightforward bullet speed pacing. So
Okay.
that's what I usually tell people. Makes most sense to me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I like that you're trying to stay alive part. That really,
Yeah. And that can happen a little bit in mystery
it
too. The
can.
protagonist can be in danger, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not the sole focus of the
Right.
book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting when I went from writing my mysteries to writing my first love inspired suspense, how many times they have to almost die in the
Right.
love inspired suspense versus what
You
I always
know,
used to write. I'm like, how is this humanly possible?
yeah, I get notes from my editor like, well, there's no danger in this chapter. And I say, but
Right.
they nearly died in the last chapter. You know,
Can they breathe for
that's
one
boring.
chapter?
Yeah, so you and I are love inspired suspense people. So we know about
Yes.
pacing. I mean, you got
Yes.
55,000 words, like 55,000 words. This is all going to get done and
Right.
wrapped up.
And they're going to fall in love,
Yeah.
which throws me. It was so hard. That was the hardest part, was trying to get them to fall in love in the midst of not dying.
Right. The reason, like, why aren't they together? If they're
Right.
two amazing people and they have all this attraction, why aren't they together? Well,
Yes.
yeah, let me
Well,
tell you.
someone's trying to kill him. Maybe
So
that's
I
the
think
problem.
probably you and I both err on the side of suspense. There's always a balance between suspense and
Yes.
romance, and some people weight romance more, and some people weight suspense more. So
Right.
yeah, I'm like,
Right.
oh, they'll be fine. They'll work it out. It'll
They'll
be
work it out. And we'll throw a kiss in here somewhere just to make everyone happy.
there. You go.
All right. Well, the book that we're here to talk about today is your first book coming out from Baker Publishing, which is Bethany House, the division of Baker. And it is called Fire Mountain. I'm really excited to hear about this book. The cover's amazing. I keep turning my head to look at it. Tell us everything we can know without spoilers.
Oh, golly. Well, imagine that you drive a big rig for a living. You're a woman.
I wanted to
Unusual.
do that as a kid.
Right?
Seriously, I wanted to be a truck driver until my dad told me it was not a safe place for a woman.
Well, it isn't really, honestly.
It really isn't.
It's a job, right? But there's something interesting that's so fascinating about like a woman trucker. Anyway, this is Kit. She owns her company. She's self-employed. She owns her own business, right? And she's out doing her last run before this volcano erupts in her region. So she's wisely evacuating, like they're telling her to.
Smart. See,
However,
she's intelligent.
Something happens, and then she wakes up. Her rig is crashed. She's in the middle of the eruption zone.
Oh.
And there's a baby in the back of her rig that she is not her baby. So, yeah.
Unexpected.
Fast forward from there, and it's pretty much catastrophe through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Kind of inspired by the Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980. Where are you from, Jamie Jo? Did you say you are?
I'm from Wisconsin, so volcanoes are not in my backyard.
Right. Well, they're not very super common here either. So, but if you live in the Pacific Northwest, everybody remembers 1980 when Mount St. Helens erupted.
I do remember that vaguely. I was 4, but I remember pictures.
Just surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of almost entertaining. Like people drove to see it. And, nowadays they would be driving to make a YouTube video or a selfie or whatever, but they didn't realize what was going to happen. Very few people did. So it quickly went from entertainment to catastrophe.
Right.
And it was super duper impactful. So I just remember that I was 12, I think, at the time.
Okay.
And I just remember watching, like, this is incredible. Like the whole top of the mountain is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were ash clouds and just really incredible. So
the power behind volcanoes is
just
I think for it like it's like you said, if you don't live around them when they're an active part, active being the pun, you don't consider the power. You just picture lava just running down the side and taking its time.
Right. Scenic. Right.
Scenic.
Well, there's different types of volcanoes, of course, like Kilauea erupts and then kind of, erupts and erupts and erupts. And people live with that, but it's not very common over on the West Coast anyway. It's similar to earthquakes. We have earthquakes and we should be prepared for that because we live here in California. But a catastrophic earthquake is just simply catastrophic and unexpected and shocking no matter when it happens. So
Right.
Yeah.
So this takes place, I'm assuming, in the Pacific Northwest then, or California, or where are we? Washington.
State.
Okay.
Excuse me.
No, that's cool. And so you've got her waking up in a crashed big rig, and suddenly there's a baby, because that makes so much sense in the middle of a volcano. So that just raises so many questions.
Right.
I love
the thing that was interesting to me is like newborns are, and it's not a newborn, it's a couple months old, but so fragile, right? So fragile. And I thought, what if you literally had nothing and you were out in the middle of the wilderness? How would you keep this baby alive? And it's not your baby. So you don't know anything about this baby. You've never had a baby. You don't know anything about how to take care of babies.
Yeah.
So it's really, talk about helpless feeling, I would think.
It's funny too, because with fiction, I mean, some people are like my husband, for example, he does not live and breathe fiction on any level. And so he would hear, he hears some of the premises of my stories and he's like, over dramatic at all. And I'm like, have you ever read the news or stories? So you hear some of the premises of these fiction novels and you're like, it sounds kind of outlandish from one hand. And the other hand, you're like, I could actually see that happening.
I remember this story vividly it was not volcano related, but this woman, the family, I think their name was the Stolpas. I don't know if you remember this, but they were driving in the snow and the car became disabled and they were like trapped in the snow and she had a nursing baby.
Oh my God.
And the husband goes off in this last ditch effort to try to get help and they are going to freeze to death.
Oh no.
So she's in this car and they have this fruitcake that they were taking to it was Christmas time, taking to their relatives. So she stays alive by eating the fruitcake just enough to keep nursing this baby and keep this baby alive wrapped in a sleeping bag. So I'm sorry, but you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes life is weirder than fiction. So
Right.
there's just this strong will to live that God
There
puts
is.
inside you, and
Yeah. Yeah. So
incredible.
where did it first, like, were you sitting in a lazy boy recliner or were you out on a hike or something and all of a sudden you're like, volcano, crashed semi and a baby,
Yeah, I should be able to tell you that, but I don't really know.
you
Probably a
know?
lot of walking the dog and I pretty much daydream for a living. I used to get in
Yeah.
trouble for that in school, and now you and I, we
Yeah.
do this for a living. So
Hmm.
people will be talking to me, and I'll be thinking, yeah, but what if there was a baby?
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be listening to this
Hmm.
person tell me this thing,
Yeah.
and I haven't heard a word they said
No. Oh, I'm so with you.
because
I'm
I'm
so
in the
with you on
truck
that.
with the baby, or you're in the glass
Yeah.
house with the butterflies, right? Like
Right.
what?
Right. That's weird. And it's funny too that, if anybody's listening and you're an aspiring author and you need something to up the stakes, seriously, dead serious, put in a baby or a
Oh
child.
my goodness, yeah.
It always changes the stakes because my investment as a reader goes from, I want the heroine to live, to this baby or this child. Like there's something instinctive that just flicks on in a story
Sure.
that just totally enhances the stakes.
Because they're 100% dependent on
Yeah.
you, right? This is it.
Yeah.
You save them or they die.
Right. Right.
And that's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a lot.
Right.
And I think everybody could relate. I mean, if you were to come across an infant, even if it wasn't yours, and you have no idea where it came from, the last thing you're going to do is like duck and run and leave it behind, or just be like, whoop, not my problem. I mean, I would say, aside from psychopaths, you probably are going to give your life for a child that you've never met.
And you see that in videos all
Hmm.
the time. People
Right.
climbing up the sides of burning buildings for
Yep.
kids that aren't theirs. There's just that God love inside you,
Yeah.
especially for little ones that you
Yeah.
gotta,
Yep.
yeah,
I love it.
you gotta
I
do
love it.
what you can.
So is there a romantic element to the story too, or are we just
There
straight up suspense?
is, yeah,
Okay.
because somebody is up in their cabin evacuating a handsome former
Mm.
cop who happens to notice the big rig go off the road and crash.
Oh, so there was a witness. There
Yes, so he
was.
goes to
Okay.
help and of course becomes trapped as well. And yeah,
Becomes a
they're
journey.
there's one of those what you call that trauma bonding experiences, right?
The foundation for every great
There
relationship.
you go. My editor says, okay, make sure this is not trauma bonding. I said, well, it is at first. I mean,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
bonding because they got to stay alive. We're going to
Right.
fast forward to a relationship, yes, but
Yes.
it is trauma bonding at
Well,
first.
and that's happened. I mean, that's legitimate. I mean, shared experiences like that can really throw you together really fast.
Yeah, you kind of throw away the facades that we like to
Right.
keep and the
Hmm.
personas we like to project. No,
Exactly.
yeah, if you see the real person
Exactly.
there,
Yep.
right?
So I'm assuming there's more than just the semi crashed and they're trying to escape lava. I'm assuming there's some
Yes.
element of villainous intent.
Well, yes, there's a problem,
Okay.
i.e., where is the mother of this baby?
Right.
And who is this person who is tracking them through the evacuation zone who would
Hmm.
risk their own life to stay here to either get the baby, kill
Oh,
Kit and her friend? We're not sure. I'm not going to spoil that for you, but
right.
they're being tracked by human predators
Okay.
as well as this inhuman volcano business.
The earth is trying to kill them. Humans are trying to kill
It's
them.
just a bad day, right?
It is.
It's
It's a
a
really
bad
bad day. Did she get
day.
coffee at any point in this book?
She was actually somewhere in
Okay.
the novel there because I
So
needed coffee.
we
Like, oh
have a
my
happily ever after. We have a happily ever after. Coffee
God.
is served.
Yeah,
Everything will be fine.
because I got all these wilderness survival tips them up, and I
Yeah.
talked to people about them. So I learned that you can actually set a fire with Doritos, right?
Okay.
So I had to. This is research. You can see where we're going to. So I went and bought all these bags of Doritos, and I said, "Honey," and he's a former firefighter. "Hey, babes, I'm gonna go in the backyard and set these on fire. Okay?" He's like, "Okay. Do you want to take your phone, like in case you know?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I got a bucket of water too. It's no problem.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
turns out Doritos make extremely good kindling. So just so you know, in
For
case
real?
you're for reals, because they're basically just oil,
I am so
you know.
doing this.
I know. Go into your backyard in your barbecue and make a little pile, and then
I'm
you
so
set them
doing
on
it.
fire. You have a beautiful little campfire, and it smells a little bit like corn. So bonus.
How aesthetic.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's so
you are
much fun to read
you are
these.
filled. This is like I don't know. It's like you should start your own channel on the Food Network or something, like
There you go.
ways to create, like you're the Joanna Gaines of wilderness survival.
Well, I did figure out too. You can use crayons for candles.
I've heard of that. That does make
That
sense.
was harder to get. You got to peel it just right and get.
Yep,
That was a little bit harder. But
that was a
I
little bit
think those
harder.
things are fun. And then people write to me like, "Are you sure that that actually gets?" Yes,
Yes.
you can see it on video on my Instagram. Witness.
Although I will say, there's a small part of me going, do I need to start packing a survival kit of Doritos in my car now?
Right? I mean,
Because yeah. So did you actually put the Doritos in the book? Is that going to be in this book?
yes, there's a Dorito fire. Her helper becomes disabled, and it's
Okay.
getting very cold. It's sort of February, I think, in the novel, so
Okay.
it's freezing.
Yeah.
So when life gives you Doritos, man, you got
Make a
to
fire.
make a fire while the
That
sun.
should be a t-shirt. You need to start a shop with book fan like swag. When life gives you Doritos, start a fire.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just helpful to know. You never know when you might need this information.
Right.
It's a
Right.
public service I offer, that's all.
I think it's good. It's good. I love the way you care about people, Dana.
I'm just saying everybody should keep a bag of Doritos at home just in case.
I'm getting one of those like single little snack bags and I'm putting it in my glove compartment.
There you go.
And my husband can ask me all he wants. Why do you have Doritos in there? I'll be like, go read Dana's book.
Well, it's an important survival.
If you read fiction, honey, you might know this stuff.
So helpful, isn't it? Yes.
He'd be like, we live in Wisconsin. There's sticks in the yard. I don't need
Yeah.
Doritos.
I'm pretty confident that most people can make a fire without Doritos, but I cannot. I do not have skills.
Hey,
So,
whatever it takes to create an interesting novel.
exactly. The lengths we are willing to go to, right?
But whoever was like in a situation and thought, you know what? There's nothing else to start a fire with. I'm going to die. Hand me that bag of Doritos.
Right? I
Like
don't know.
someone had to do that for the very first time.
And
Yes.
someone did, because there's YouTube videos to prove it. It works.
Now, does one flavor burn better?
I only tested one, and people tell me that like regular corn chips work too. It's not
Okay.
specific to the Dorito,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's the corn chip that I knew. So you could probably do a little test on that, Jamie, and just go like regular corn chips, Doritos, Pringles. I don't know, would that work?
You can start doing some reels like, if you want a spicier ambiance tonight at your campfire, set on fire Doritos Cool Ranch.
I don't think the Dorito company would care as long as they're
I don't
selling
think so
Doritos.
And then if you're looking for a cheesier night and a sense of humor, we're going with nacho cheese Doritos.
Oh
my goodness.
On fire with this.
My cat literally just put his paw on my shoulder like, Mom, stop. You're making an idiot of yourself.
His little face on the chair, like
it's like he's completely embarrassed.
I'm sorry. Professionals, man.
I embarrassed you, didn't I? He's like,
stop. He's bored.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what else do we need to know about this book? Anything that we've failed to mention?
Well, we're going to meet some interesting characters along the way, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a finger on the pulse about how, kind of people, locals, they say, my husband always said this, in an emergency, it either brings out the best in people or the worst in people. So you can see kind of both ends of that spectrum, but I just watch the news sometimes and I think, man, people can be amazing.
Oh, they can.
I know we're sinners and we're all saved by the Lord,
right.
but the Lord empowers us to be amazing at certain times, right? Like the tornado comes and your neighbor risks everything to help you. Or your neighbor gets your horse out of this stuff, right? It's just incredible.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
I love that element of human care, especially in today's day and age where the news focuses so much on how we almost like hunt each other, for lack of a better way of saying it. But then you get those feel-good stories that just like, did you watch? Okay, segue. During the pandemic that shall not be mentioned.
Okay.
John Straczynski came out with Some Good News channel, Some Good News channel.
Oh,
And he would like daily put out some good news, and he would post only good things. And it was all about people's humanity and how they stepped up to help here or did this. And I'd like watch those at the end of the day. Thank you, John.
right.
I don't care that you were in the
And you know
office. I
what I
only
think
care that you
about
did
that?
this.
I think, Jamie, that there are so many more people like that
Yeah.
than there are bad people.
Yeah.
Or people who have, kind of fallen into sin where they would hurt someone else. There is way more goodness in the world, but we are not shown it. We are fed the poison instead of the beauty. So I hang on to that when I get distressed. I think, no, there's all kinds of stories all over the world. You just don't hear them.
Right? It's really true. It's really true.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So is Fire Mountain going to be book 1? Are we getting more from you?
Yeah, this is book 1, and then there is a second one called Raging Waters, about a flood, a dam failure.
Okay. I'm sensing a theme here.
Always ask me when that's coming out, and I should probably know that. I do not know that. I think maybe it's going to be July of next year, if I had to guess.
That would make
And
a logical
maybe
guess.
there'll be a third. I don't know. I'd like there to be a third, but you know how these things go.
Yeah,
we'll
you gotta
see.
take it a book at a time and see. But I'm sensing like natural disasters.
I like to write about that. Isn't that terrible? I do.
Yeah. Have you actually personally experienced one?
Just Loma Prieta in 89. That was pretty catastrophic for our area, and the Bay Bridge collapse. I mean, it was pretty
intense.
It's pretty bad. Our state has also been devastated by numerous wildfires.
Oh yes.
Most currently, this Southern California fire. We had people lose their homes, our family members, and things. So, yeah, California is a wild and woolly place to live, but every state has its challenges. So,
yeah. It's interesting though, because my husband and I were having a conversation the other night, and we were talking about California specifically because it seems like you get a little bit of almost everything potentially that could be catastrophic from a weather standpoint. And then we were talking about Wisconsin, and we're like, we sometimes get tornadoes, but they usually because we've got so many hills, they usually kind of like bounce overhead. And they don't often come down unless you're in a flatland area. And so we were like, I think the worst thing we have in Wisconsin are mosquitoes.
Oh, well, that's pretty bad.
It's bad, but it's not a natural disaster.
Well, and things happen. I think I read somewhere that like Kansas had a catastrophic earthquake at one point. I think things happen strangely.
Yes.
And that's why they're catastrophic sometimes, because you're not prepared.
Right.
The Maui fires, we had the Maui fires a while ago. They just hadn't ever experienced that level of wildfire. We experience it all the time.
All the time.
They had not.
Yeah.
So that's why it was just so particularly devastating, because people aren't prepared and just experienced in how to deal with this.
Yeah. And that's really accurate. And I think that you're totally spot on when you say catastrophic really often has to do with even the reaction because of what you're not prepared for. You're just not prepared for it. It'd be like if Wisconsin got hit with a huge earthquake.
Yeah, you just can't be prepared sometimes.
Yeah, you're just not aware of it. So
yeah.
Well, this is exciting. So the book is called Fire Mountain. It's a Race to Stay Alive by Dana Mentink. And it's coming July 1st from Bethany House Publishers. If readers want to follow you, find out more about you and your backlist of amazing books, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Well, I'd say the old website, danamenting.com. But if you want to have fun and set Doritos on fire, Instagram, honestly, is the most entertaining place.
It's the entertaining place. That's where the fires happen.
Yeah, I'm just Dana Mentink on Instagram, so we'd love to see you there. But yeah, have a newsletter and all that good stuff, so you can find me if you'd like to.
All right. And if you want, build a science project of a volcano to satisfy the teacher in Dana, and also tag her because it will go right along with her upcoming release.
It sure will.
So we should have like a volcano making contest.
Remember those ones you made in school and you put the baking soda in the vinegar? I'm going to have to do that just for fun.
And if you're really smart, you add a little bit of orange and red food coloring.
Oh, yeah.
And then it comes out.
The drama.
You have to have the drama.
Of course.
And then you put little Lego men at the bottom. I'm sorry, I'm getting way into this.
Or dinosaurs. Uh-oh. We've gone off on a tangent here.
All right. Jamie's unhinged. All right. Well, Dana, this has been a blast, and we'll probably have you back to talk about the next one when it comes out. But for right now, readers, you will want to go get this book. You can pre-order it, I'm assuming, right now.
Yeah, you know what? Pre-order it because you get
Yeah.
40% off and free shipping if you get it
Yes.
through Baker Books. I'm like, how can they do that?
I don't know.
But anyway, that's the best deal.
That's the best deal. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, Dana, it was so much fun having you, and we're definitely gonna have to do this again.
I would love to.
Okay. And that's a wrap for today here at Mad Lit Musings. I hope you join us again. And if you want to, be sure you like and subscribe here at your favorite podcast player or on YouTube, because you won't want to miss all the wonderful alerts that let you know when we have another conversation for you to eavesdrop on.